Hi everybody, this is Odd Samurai, and today I'm going to be reacting to Bleach 1000 Year Blood War, episode 41, aka Core 4, episode 1. So yeah, I rewatched all of 1000 Year Blood War to have all of this fresh. Literally, I rewatched episode 40 earlier today, so it's like really, here. And yeah, it's the last core. And apparently it's gonna be only 10 episodes, which it's a little bit sad, but at the same time it's like there's not a lot of things left from the manga, so it's like surely there was a limit that of new things that they wanted to add. So it's like there 10 is the limit. But it does make me wonder, like, will we eventually get a Can't Fear Your Own World adaptation? But that's for later. Now though, so last episode we had Hashwalth telling Ishida to, like, go on, prove you're not a traitor, kill your friends. He was like, oh man, like that means so much coming from him because of the friend episode in Basby. And it's like, yo, his dynamic with Ishida, it's so interesting. He projects so hard onto him. And it's like, yeah, I killed him. Now I hurt like hell. But like, what do you get to keep your friends? If you choose to go against Yuha. Like, I stayed, and I had to fully break the ties of my most dear bond, though it was, still was a very complicated one. So at this point, Hashwalth is really just working on sunk cost fallacy. Like, I've invested so much into this life, into this man, that there is no way for me to quit now, in his mind. He can only just keep going in this path that he's just forced himself to be, to justify his decisions, like, oh, if Yuha succeeds, then it'll all feel like it was for a good purpose. And it's just like, oh man, I have a lot of feelings about Hashwalth. Man, none, like the fact that his shrift is the balance, but none of his relationships are equal in any way. It's just, it's sad. And so with Ishida, it's like, he kept on watching him like a hawk. He was waiting for him to make a mistake. And he was so sure that Ishida would betray them at some point. He just didn't have any proof until now. And, he's smiling the most he's ever smiled in the series because he's feeling justified. Ishida either dying because he betrayed Yuha or killing his friends would bring validity to Hashwalth's feelings. But yeah, we also had a little bit of Yoruichi versus Askin. He very swiftly defeated Yushiro. And then we also had the beginning of Jared versus everyone. The Bizards had a little bit of a moment. I hope that they don't get defeated right away, but I don't get a lot of my hopes up. Yeah, I noticed that all the Bizard captains took off their captain coats. So they're basically saying like they're putting on the mask to try and defeat Jared. Not as Shinigami, but as Bizards. Because I don't think they're allowed to put on the masks here with that status. But yeah, I think that's about it. So let's get started with the episode. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, this music. This is gonna be like Yuha dreaming of the future. I'll just let you know that I did not reread any of this, of the corresponding manga chapter, so I'll do it after making the video. But I think that might have been in the manga. Yeah, I'm gonna raise the volume. Oh, don't remind me of this. Okay, and this is where we get the OP. Yeah, this is a cool song. Honestly, the lyrics I feel like really apply to Hashwalth a lot. And I would say the same thing about the opening before this one too. That was just as well about Ishida with Ichigo. Also, I'm not showing much of a reaction because I already did it. Both to the OP and the ending, so you can check that out if you want. Glad God is no longer reliable. Yeah, that's been Aizen's mindset for a long time. Oh, so good. Oh my god, they're still doing the like preview of the episode right after the opening? Why? Yeah, this is reminding me of how the episode 40 ended. Okay, but this is going through a whole battlefield. Yo, this is so cool. Okay, Hashwalth. Okay, we're seeing this again. That's fine. Man, seeing Ishida say to Ichigo, like, I'm the only one who can do this, it actually made me emotional. He really was in the same place that Ichigo was in the Rancor arc, trying to shoulder the whole burden by himself. But here he's like, no, I am trusting you to do what I can't. So go, and I'll do what I can. Oh, yeah, look at the tears in her eyes. Hmm. I get that. Oh, I love this friend group. Not the damn statues. Chad didn't need to do that. The Santen Kishin was gonna block it. I was about to say, like, where is Ganju? Oh. Sure. Bet. Damn. Chad accepting his role in the series. Ooh. That looked like Lichterregen. Right, yeah. Yeah, he's like, well, why are you surprised? I guess you didn't see me being full of hope. Him saying that, that's so sweet. That means he does trust Ichigo. Ooh. Well, that was kind of scary. Well, bull standing from the get-go. I mean, he has to, even if it's a partial use of the Almighty. Still. Maybe more so to do with emotions that he can't see. Of course. Oof, that cut. Oh, yo, look at the camera work! That's sick! Oh. Yo, let go of my boy! Yeesh. Oh, yo! Oh, this was from a trailer. Still clean as hell. Oof. Oh, his shoulder. He's not trying to be you. He's not trying to be you, but you're trying to force him. Well, what is that? Right? Random Jinta? And with some nice animation too. Doo-doo-doo. Tesai. You know, we could have brought him to Soul Society. He could have helped. But I guess he wanted to protect the children. Oh. I like this. Yee. Oh. Ah. Thank goodness the Ishida glasses are intact. Oh. Call him out. Go ahead, my boy. Askin? Oh. Oh, he looks so good just lying there. Shirtless. Hmm. Oh. Okay, so we're in this part of the fight. I'm sorry, that pose. Okay, so he's doing that on purpose, not killing her. I mean, he did say he likes to kill with style. Hmm. Okay, well, he did try. But he's clearly not trying at the moment. No, Yoruichi can use Kaido? That is a fatal flaw of his. Talking too much, even though it is charming. Right. Oh, okay, we're getting the 5 threats. Wisdom. Hmm. Hmm. I know. Oh, well, there it is. They did that chapter title. There was no reason to put it in her butt. It was just Kubo gunning out. Oh my god. You're seeing this? She hates it! No, he was actually able to dodge all of it. Oh boy. At least the animation is nice. Oh, baby boy Askin, no! Leave him alone! That's some nice camera work. Askin! No! Oh, let's go. Gift ball deluxe. Now that's what I'm talking about. Ah! Oh! Oh, while standing asking, oh, he looks so handsome. No, not at all. I mean, it's translated to God's poison taster, so it is cool. I figured that's where the episode was gonna end. Oh, it's hot, even with the fan on. I really like this ending. Oh. I'm gonna try to learn the lyrics for it. Poem? Oh, Askin! Oh, his voice is so good. Yes. Oh, Son of Darkness. I'm guessing we're starting Ichigo versus Yuha? Of course, that gets the illustration at the end. Okay, well, well, before talking about the things I did like, let's just, get it out of the way. Hopefully quick. I don't like Yoruichi's monster lightning cat form. Like, not even just, I mean, that's a small part of it, in the fact that it just, just makes her irrelevant in the fight. Since, she's not really the one fighting anymore. But it is that. And it's the fact that, her autonomy and agency gets taken away. And you think it would be something a villain would do, but it's her supposed best friend. And it's like, it would even be something, right? Where it's like, okay, I could probably accept it if Yoruichi was like, it sucks, but you're right, I guess. Let's just do this. But no. She knew what Urahara wanted to do. And she says, verbatim, I never want to be that half-assed, grotesque form ever again. So she hates that thing. Understandably so. Because, not an ounce of who Yoruichi is, of, Yoruichi's consciousness, it's awake when that cat is in charge of her body. So that's just, Urahara is just breaching boundaries that she very clearly put up. Yeah, granted, I want to say that it's framed in a way that it makes Urahara look very shady and very sinister. Especially when Askin is being like, can she not understand a single word I'm saying? And that's mild from Urahara. I feel like it's meant to be very unsettling. At least to me it is. So in that regard, it's okay. I don't think the narrative is saying that that it's all chill and dandy that he did that. But he does go on and justify that, okay, well, I have to use everything at my disposition to try and defeat this enemy that will, a big part of Yuha succeeding. If I just, let it be. But it didn't even work. So It really bites Urahara back. Just the fact that he crossed a limit with his best friend, but also, you know, just playing around instead of making sure that he killed Askin. But no, you know, he'd just rather keep up the nonchalant, nothing bothers me part of his persona. He just has to make it so that he won't use his trump card until he's cornered and there's nothing else he can think of using, including his own allies. So yeah, basically, I don't like it, but yeah, I understand. You know, from Urahara's mindset, you know, he's all like, we gotta do anything and everything for the sake of the Soul Society, for the balance. But I feel like similar to Ichibe, you're meant to be like, yo, there's something wrong with this guy going to these lengths just so he himself won't be hurt. But yeah, just, you know, I'm not even like a Yoruichi fan like that, but even I'm like, Ku did her so dirty here. That she's just, you know, literally, she just turns into walking fan service, and that's it. And that's the farewell to her character. Like, damn. Just the fact that in her actual, you know, black cat form, she has, you know, actual way more agency and autonomy here. Here is just a random cat with her body. Like, I thought people, you know, a part of the reason people found Yoruichi hot is because of how confident she is in her looks. But like, you know, she's not here. There's, you know, Yoruichi is not in her body here, in control of her body. So what could possibly be attractive in a cat with her body that cannot consent? Anyway, just a lot of issues with that. I really like the beginning. That little moment with Inoue and Ichigo, when she's like, you know, I knew in my heart that Ishida wasn't actually part of this, you know, Quincy group. I knew it, right? But there is something about him actually saying it out loud that just puts her heart at ease. No, I was just thinking Ishida was still the same Ishida. Or Ishida-kun. And that's, yeah, that really got to me. I really wish we could have seen, like, a little exchange of words between Inoue and Ishida. But it is what it is. At the very least, she's, you know, she now knows what his intentions and motivations are, and that he never stopped seeing them as friends. He was just misguided in the way that he's trying to defeat Yuha, because, you know, he definitely has or had the mentality before telling to Ichigo, you know, you go fight Yuha and I'll fight Hashwalth. And I hope that I can do that before he regains back the Almighty. That he wanted to... I want to say he was ready to straight up just sacrifice himself and die in, you know, this quest to kill Yuha and take revenge for his mother. So I'm really glad that Ichigo's words got through to him and realized that he doesn't have to do this alone. Because Ishida and Ichigo's dynamic has reached a point where they can see each other as equals and trust the other, you know, with their backs. I mean, obviously they did that since the very first arc Ishida was introduced. But, you know, a gap grew between them in a rancor, a gap of like power scaling. But now Ishida grew in that to a point where he thought he was the only one who had to die in order for Yuha to be defeated. But yeah, that's so good. And it works so well with Hashwalth. It's because, you know, he could never see himself as an equal to Basby. And then later, Basby could never see himself as an equal to Hashwalth. That it just, you know, it just wasn't possible for them. Their coping mechanisms are quite fragile, and once they start to get tested, it just, you know, they break apart, since they never had a true support system. But yeah, there's one line from Hashwalth that I'll hear when he says to Ishida, "Your life is in my hands." There's something about that, you know? About Hashwalth being the one in control, that I feel like it's another coping mechanism. Because, well, you know, with Yuha, with his uncle way back, and even with Basby for a while, he never felt like he was in control. He could be abandoned at any point, or, you know, beaten at any point, and he just wasn't able to do anything about it. And so this, it gives Hashwalth something that he can cling to. Even though it's not balanced, you know, at this point, no relationship of his has been defined by it. You know, his character arc is all about trying to find balance and being unable to. And also that moment when he's like, you know, it's my rule or duty to get rid of traitors. And just the way that he pretty much yells it. He's like, oh, he's definitely still reeling from his fight with Basby. You know, he hates that he has that role. But that role is something that he's been defined by for a long time now in his life. So he's like, might as well keep performing it. I think that's all I have to say. It was nice seeing Tesai, Ororo, and Jinta, because I'm 100% certain that they were not in the manga here. I won't lie. I love Askin, but at the same time, it's like I don't fully understand him. So that, you know, like I really want to analyze him, but at the same time, I'm like, where do I even start? He's such a, you know, there's a lot to him. Like there's layers to the layers. But I'll try, you know, next time. So if you enjoyed my reaction, please like and subscribe. Till next time, see ya.